前が黒ひげ。
エースの墓前じゃよくよく礼を言うんだな。あいつが現れなかったら本来死んでたのはおめえだ、麦わら。
Hey my dear pirates, you are on channel Straw Hat's One Piece Theories, and in today's video we're going to talk about the epic clash between Luffy and Blackbeard where Luffy can finally test Nika's true powers. Will we finally see Luffy's real powers in action? Can only an enemy like Blackbeard truly make Luffy use the true potential of his devil fruit powers? And how will this fight be? Could it happen in the next chapters, or will we only have this clash at the end of One Piece? Well, we're going to analyze all this in today's video, so if you want to be a pirate king like me and achieve eternal glory, go ahead and press the like button with all the power of your devil fruit. And if you're new here my dear sailor, already subscribe to the channel and don't forget to activate the notifications bell so you don't miss any new video, okay? Then join this crew that will dominate the entire Grand Line and the New World. Now without further ado, let's get to this epic video. And well my dear pirate, after finally awakening the powers of his devil fruit, Luffy has shown to have incredible powers beyond imagination. What I'm talking about is no lie, with Nika's powers, Luffy can literally do anything, as we talked about in the video about Luffy's peak powers and also in the video about Luffy's ability to create inanimate objects like those centuries ago. He created in his fight against Rob Lucci and maybe even a sword. However, recently we commented on the possibility that Luffy has a limiter for so much power he gained after awakening Nika's power with Gear 5. It could be several options such as loss of consciousness, accumulated fatigue, or even the risk of death each time for Luffy to use his powers. And that reminds me of when I mentioned in a video about the clash between Luffy and Blackbeard, whether this clash is happening now or a possible fight at the end of One Piece. See this snippet.
But what if the enemy was another? What if Luffy's enemy had the ability to alter the environment just like Luffy? This is a big question. After all, Blackbeard has powers that can not only destroy the entire battlefield, but also hide an entire city within his darkness. What I mean is, could it be that Luffy's powers at that level that where against the world, Kaido would be enough against an enemy like Teach? That's why mentioning Road to Laugh Tale Volume 3 was necessary. Ollie makes it clear that although Luffy believes he has reached the maximum level of his powers, this is a conception he obtained by facing Kaido. But if the enemy is even stronger than Kaido, or worse, if the enemy has the ability to alter the whole environment to the point of Luffy not being able to change anything to his will, how would Luffy do in a fight like that? Would he have the ability to alter his imagination to the point of being able to change the forms of someone else's devil fruit powers? Or should he adapt to face this new enemy? Good. I believe so. And for me, it is at this very moment that we will see that the power of the Nika Nika no Mi is capable of, at the same time that we will see Luffy increasing his powers even more. This being called Improved Gear 5 or Gear 6. Of course, giving that much power to Luffy could end up causing Oda to end up losing control of his work, and this could become a big problem in the future. Well, unless to reach this new level of power, a possible Gear 6, Luffy needs something external to push him to do this, like someone dying or perhaps losing control of his Devil Fruit's power, but that's a topic for another video.
But what if the limit of Luffy's powers is literally the power of another devil fruit? What if Blackbeard is the weak point of Luffy's new powers? Well, let's analyze this. Ever since Luffy awakened Gear 5, it has been theorized that Luffy's fruit power might be the opposite of Blackbeard's devil fruit power, the Sun God fruit and the Dark God fruit. While Luffy's devil fruit has the power to create things out of imagination, Teach's devil fruit has the power to hide things in darkness. For example, both are devil fruit antagonists to each other. That is, my dear pirate, only Blackbeard has what it takes to actually face Luffy on an equal footing. In that section you just saw, I commented that I believed in the possibility that Luffy could alter the powers of an enemy's devil fruit if it had the powers of change the environment as well. But there is a detail that completely changes this concept, which is the awakening of the devil's fruit. We still don't know how Blackbeard's devil fruit awakening will be, or if that's really possible. After all, we're talking about a Logia, although Oda can change that just like he changed Luffy's fruit. But anyway, what we can do is theorize a little bit about it. A good example is what happened in Punk Hazard with the powers of Akainu and Aokiji. We saw how the island was divided, and we also saw how the alteration of the environment was permanent. This gives us an opening to imagine the maximum potential of Blackbeard's Logia upon being awakened. After all, if Luffy's devil fruit gives him the ability to alter the environment, and Blackbeard's devil fruit also does that by being able to hide things, destroy them, and then return them as we saw in their fight against Ace, so we can take those powers to an even higher level if Blackbeard can really awaken the power of his devil fruit. And what makes me believe this is the mystery of Blackbeard's ability to steal the powers of an opponent's devil fruit. If he can further increase these powers by awakening the full potential of his devil fruit like Luffy did in Wano, I believe that even if Luffy changes the environment around him, Blackbeard could still handle it using his powers awakened. So that way, if this fight between Luffy and Blackbeard happens now, probably after finding out that Law and Garp were kidnapped by Blackbeard as well as Kobe, since there is that possibility, I believe that Luffy would go to where Blackbeard is to face him, and in the current form that Blackbeard is in, I believe that he would not be able to beat Luffy in his Gear 5 mode. Although, and if Garp manages to save Kobe, if Law somehow manages to get out of this clash with Blackbeard unscathed, and if everything happens in a way that Luffy doesn't have to go face Blackbeard at the moment we're in the manga, well, that's all we will have this clash between the two only at the end of One Piece. However, this way the scenario would be completely different, because until then, Blackbeard could end up finding out about the awakening of his devil fruit, and this could make him too powerful. As we mentioned, he could have what it takes to defeat Gear 5 of Luffy, and we have to take into account that he can steal more devil fruit powers during this period. We don't know if this is possible, but it's worth leading this point as a curiosity. But calm down, I know you must be thinking at this very moment, but what about Luffy? In that same period, wouldn't he also get even stronger? Well, my dear pirate, as I said earlier, Luffy's power is now based on his imagination and what he saw in his fight against Kaido, so unless he faces someone more powerful than Kaido in that period, which I think is very unlikely to happen, he will never take the test of the limits of his powers, which is his imagination. So, only in a fight against Blackbeard will Luffy have to recalculate his power metrics to give a new upgrade in his Gear 5 using his imagination as a way to achieve these powers, and using Nika's awakening as fuel to make it all come true. Well, unless at some point Luffy has a worthy opponent to force him to raise his powers even more, or the loss of someone important to him is the reason that makes him even stronger. Well, my dear pirate, now I want to know your opinion about everything we talked about here today. Do you think that Luffy will only use the full potential of Nika's power when he goes to face Blackbeard? Does only Teach have what it takes to force Luffy to do this? Or will we see something casual from anime in general, like Luffy using all that power in an irrational way after losing a loved one or friend? But of course, if you made it this far, it's because you like the content, so it doesn't hurt to subscribe to our channel and become one more member of our fleet, my dear sailor. And of course, do not forget to press the like button, that helps a lot in spreading the video and the channel, so help us to become the largest fleet of pirates here on YouTube, okay? A big hug for everyone, and until the next video.